speaking of making smart decisions, is anybody making dumber decisions in their life than NBA superstar Ja Morant?
Oh.
How familiar are you with Ja Morant? You probably don't do too much about him.
None.
You know none. All right. So here's the story with Ja Morant. Let's get a visual of who he is. This is not a sports story.
Oh.
This is smarten up, okay, before you lose your namesake, your legacy, your money, your reputation, all that and then some, because someone like him might get a couple different opportunities, might get a couple different chances to basically live out their greatness. You might only get one chance. You might only be one decision away from basically having your career, your life, your relationship taken away from you. Scroll down so people can get a visual of Ja Morant. You could probably even click on his name so people understand who he is, okay? So, yeah, Ja Morant, there he is right there. If you can punch in on him. He,
point guard,
at the very least, is a top 2, top 3 NBA point guard. He was in the conversation for MVP of the entire league.
Wow.
Basically, as of recent as a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then stupidity took over. So let me just kind of replay what happened here. Basically, he was on a road game in Denver. Mm-hmm. He did an IG live while at a strip club, flashing a gun.
Jeez.
Okay? And basically, he was suspended for 8 games. I believe he missed some of the NBA playoffs. His team basically was beaten down by LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers, okay? And you might think that you're reliving deja vu right now, but after everything, after the apology tour that he was on, after basically saying that he's learned from his mistakes, after basically saying he will never do this again, what happened 2 days ago? He did it again. Another IG live, acting a fool, flashing a gun, okay? And now he has been suspended indefinitely by his team, the Memphis Grizzlies, and possibly suspended for the foreseeable future from the NBA. All right, so this is 2 months after he was suspended for the same exact incident. He went and did it again. This is now 2 strikes, Ja Morant. 3 strikes, you're potentially out. You know, they say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. What did you think was going to happen, Ja? This is the subject of everything on ESPN these days. Charlamagne the God was talking about on the Breakfast Club. Andrew Schultz did a whole episode about this on his podcast, Flagrant. And Charlamagne the God, I believe, called him the donkey of the day. I think they do. They basically highlight some of the dumbest decisions that could possibly be done. And you were the donkey of the day, Ja Morant. By the way, we're not talking about him losing $1 million. We're not talking about him losing $10 million. He signed a $194 million contract with the Memphis Grizzlies that is now potentially in jeopardy, okay? They banned him from all team activities. By the way, that contract is still being paid. But what did he already miss out on? By the way, he was a lock for first team All-NBA, at the very least second team All-NBA. There was $40 million apparently lost from him not making an All-NBA team selection, okay? Guys, you're one stupid decision away from being fired, from losing your job, from basically ending your relationship, from losing a friendship, from having your career go down the tubes. For someone like him, not only do you lose your job, your career, your money, your status, your legacy, your relationship, we're talking $194 million in jeopardy, in addition to the $40 million apparently that he was eligible for as being an All-NBA team member. And now he's not apparently going to be eligible for what is called, there's NBA contracts for all-stars called max contracts. But if you're an MVP candidate, you guys know this for sports fans, you get what is known as a super max contract. That is when your team can re-sign you. That would be eligible for over $200 million upcoming. This is what is on the line here for Ja Morant. He's saying that he's looking to be more responsible. He's saying that he's taking accountability. He's saying, hey, I got to choose better. Listen, you need to look in the mirror and make better decisions for yourself. They say it on your friends. They say it on his dad. His dad's T. Morant. He's kind of his buddy. You don't need a buddy in your life. You don't need more homies in your life. You need a father, and you need an inner circle who's basically encouraging you to do the right thing. Shout out to Spike Lee. Shout out to New York Knicks. So don't shift blame. This is on you, buddy. Your dad's not going to lose $200 million. Your friends are going to lose $200 million. You are going to lose $200 million. You are the face of the NBA, potential MVP candidate. Now you're being blackballed from your team, from the NBA. By the way, what do you think the sponsors are going to do when they actually digest this? Who are his sponsors? We're talking Nike. We're talking Powerade. We're talking corporate America, basically saying, how can we condone this ridiculous behavior when he has a pattern of doing this? By the way, Ja, you're an NBA player. You're not a rapper. You're not a gangster. You're not a thug. You're not a criminal. Stay in your lane, homie.
How old is he? Do you know how
Ja
old?
Morant, I believe, is 24 years old.
There's your answer.
Okay, but you know what? I was thinking
There's
that,
your
oh, maybe
answer.
he's young. Maybe he's stupid.
Yeah, he's
LeBron
both.
James came into the NBA when he was 19 years old.
Yeah.
Okay, agree or disagree with some of the things that LeBron says. He has been a poster boy for acting right and having a good behavior, being a good family man and father and husband. So, okay? So this is what I'm saying is, oh, he's young. All right, Steph Curry, you never hear problems about him. Giannis Antetokounmpo, and former MVP. Nikola Jokic from Europe, you never hear anything about him. Joel Embiid, we just covered him the other day. The craziest thing I saw Joel Embiid do was drink Shirley Temples in the club with me at night, okay? This is another level of stupidity and lunacy and idiocy that we're seeing from a $200 million franchise player. You're one stupid mistake of what you can do. By the way, let's play the video, just so everyone's like, all right, what actually even happened here? Let's play the video of Ja Morant acting a fool on Instagram Live. Go ahead.
Red flag. This looks
That's
like
him and his
a whole
homie.
lot of red flags. Like their hat.
Okay, by the way, yep, his friend flashes a gun sign, and now look in Ja's left hand, it's the closest to the driver. They slow it down. Just a gat in the air. You see it, right? Just flashing it. Guys, this is 2 months after he was suspended and lost millions of dollars. This is what you're doing. By the way, you know how many people were on his IG Live?
How many?
111 people.
Wow.
So this is what you're doing. You're talking about eyeballs, attention economy. There's 111 people on an IG Live, and this is what you're doing. And you know those 111 people? You the man, Ja.
Yeah.
Get him, dog.
Yeah.
Sick, brother. Love that song. Clack, clack. Okay, brother, imagine, just imagine for a second, you shoot yourself. Like you're freaking, who was the NBA player who shot himself at one point? Or you're Gilbert Arenas, you bring a gun to the locker room, something happens, he never saw the light of day in the league again. It was, who was the NBA player that shot himself? Shit. Who is it? Oh, Plaxico Burress, NFL player, shot himself. Thank you, Angel, the DJ in the house on the ones and twos. Shot himself because he brought a gun to a place he shouldn't have. Shot himself. Imagine if Ja Morant shot himself, shot his buddy. Accidentally, the gun goes off. Now, this isn't a Second Amendment debate. You can have a gun legally, keep in your car, but flashing it on an IG Live, what are you doing, homie?
I don't
Okay?
know. But mind you, also, if you're listening also to what they're listening to, that's the culture for it. So it's like, as much as it's like, oh, you know, I'm doing it, it's that whole culture is embracing that type of behavior. So, you know, people revert back to kind of the culture that they were raised in and their society that they were around. So it's like, you can see somebody reverting back to that. But to me, this just looks like somebody who let the money get to their head. You know, when you make a certain amount of money and you have a certain amount of group of people that you get to be around, and you start hanging out with the old people that you used to grow up with, this is what happens. This is literally an example of hanging out with the wrong crowd.
Yeah.
You are next level. My mom always says, like, she always says this, and you guys have probably already heard this. You don't compete where it doesn't compare, right? You're not going to go, if you're driving a Lamborghini, you're not going to go race a 1920 Nissan. There's no chance. So it's like you see somebody, you are hanging with the big dogs, my guy, and then now you want to humble yourself, sure, and hang out with the people you grew up with, but sometimes the people you grow up with, they don't want the best for you. They want to hold you back into the person you were.
Or they don't know enough to want the best for you.
Yes.
They want to do the things that you were doing in high school.
Yes.
When you are now a professional.
Yep.
Think about that for a second. You are a professional basketball player. Let's remove professional. Let's remove basketball player for 1 second. Let's alienate those words for a second, separate them. I don't care if you're an NBA player. I don't care if you're an NFL player. I don't care if you're an accountant, an attorney, a CPA. You are a professional.
Yes.
It's time for you to act like a professional. Also, when you start making $200 million in contracts, you are now a full-on business. You know, Jay-Z once said, I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman, okay? You are a full-on business. You're worth more than companies, than small businesses across the country by tenfold. And you need to start acting accordingly. So, by the way, there was another article over there that we can highlight. Go up to the articles that I sent you. Let me just scroll through those real quick to see which one I can respond to. There was the ESPN article, I believe. Just pull that one up.
You want Slack?
Yeah, no, you already pulled them up.
Very disturbing. And ladies, this is a red flag. Don't let the money fool you.
ESPN.
Pull up what you have already. What do you have?
I do. I have the ESPN article up.
Okay, so let me see. His counseling program after that, scroll down a little bit. Morant told ESPN he's involved. Okay, keep going down. No, the other article. Okay, gotcha. So, lesson, here we go. So this is a shout out to PBD real quick. So PBD wrote a book, Wall Street bestseller, Wall Street Journal bestseller, and it was called Your Next 5 Moves. And the number one question, if you ever read the book, was, who do you want to be?
Yep.
Who do you want to be? Okay? Now, there was an amazing article. I sent it to you on Slack. See if you can pull that up. And it was Ja Morant. Who do you want to be, buddy? Okay? And, you know, I often talk about, people say, just be yourself. Just be yourself. Hey, listen. Don't be yourself.
Yeah, don't be yourself.
Don't be yourself. By the way,
yourself.
This is a message for everyone out there, okay? It's okay to be true to yourself, to stay true to your beliefs, but nobody should just act 100% themselves when you're in a public forum, okay? I said this the other day to a friend of ours at work. I said, only say out loud 80% of the things you're thinking in your head. Because if you say 100% of the things you're thinking in your head, you will be and you should be fired, okay? So maybe your number is 80, 90, 99%, but nobody should be 100% themselves when you're in the presence of other people, at your company, on social media, in a place of work. Like, don't be 100% yourself. You know, a lot of people say, be yourself. Motherfucker, don't be yourself, because you do some stupid ass shit, you think some stupid ass shit, you say some ridiculous ass things, and that is what is known as a fireable offense. You have that article, Joe?
I do.
Okay. So the question is, who does Memphis Grizzlies star guard Ja Morant want to be? All right. The All-Star guard said he's going to be better at decision-making, is at a career crossroads after yet another gun incident. See if you can scroll down and punch in a little bit, because there's a little more details here. So following a season in which Ja Morant's immaturity puts the success of Memphis Grizzlies in jeopardy, you're not putting yourself in jeopardy. You're putting an entire billion-dollar franchise in jeopardy. All right? His $193 million contract, my apologies, I said 194, what's another $1 million bucks, is now at jeopardy. He's on the verge of being one of the most new faces of the league, is asked about his role as a team leader. I just need to do better with my decision making. You think? Off the court issues affected us as an organization. You think? Scroll down a little bit, by the way. For what it's to sake, Morant, importance to the team, future earnings. The importance to his team is future earnings, help his family establish generational wealth. Pulling again falls well beyond being immature. It's the off-the-court act that reaches the Antonio Brown levels of ineptitude. Now, we here at Valuetainment,
we know Antonio Brown.
with Antonio Brown.
Yes.
We've done a whole saga podcast with AB that went up, down, left, and right. What do I need to move? Move the cable.
Cable? Like this?
All right, sorry. We have some technical issues over here.
Good?
It's okay. We're professionals over here, guys. We're going to roll with the punches. Are we good to go?
Great.
All right, sorry, guys. Cut this part out. So if we can scroll down this article a little bit.
More?
Yeah, keep scrolling down. So who is Morant? He's the guy linked to a January confrontation involving the Indiana Pacers. All right, reportedly, by the way, these gun stories weren't the first one. Reportedly, there was a red laser from an SUV that he was riding in, pointed at the visiting team's bus. We all know what happens when a red laser is pointed at you. Whether or not it's a fucking cat toy or a real full-on gun, what kind of message are you sending to the traveling team's party in a bus, all right? And the team, the Indiana Pacers traveling party, says, we felt like we were in grave danger. Homie, you're a professional basketball player here. Just keep scrolling down. Keep going. His coach is commenting on this.
Oh my God.
Here's what I wanted to get to. 3 days after the bombshell story of the Word was published, Morant pulled a gun in a club, resenting an 8-game suspension. We talked about that. None of this makes sense. Morant is 23 years old, two-time All-Star, 2020 Rookie of the Year, the recipient of a 5-year, $193 million contract that's scheduled to kick in next season and will set up future generations. This contract hasn't even been in effect yet. It's scheduled to kick in. There might be an out clause on this contract.
There
Can
should
you
be.
imagine that?
There should be.
Can you imagine if there's an out clause in this contract? I hope these IG Lives are worth it for the 111 people that are showing up for your IG Live, homie. Morant's been prominently featured in national ads for Powerade and Hulu and Nike. Scroll down. Nike delayed the release of his signature shoe following the first incident, and who knows how this most recent video will impact this deal. And now that the risk of Morant's throw your guns move, that was a song that he was speaking out to impress, here it is, guys, 111 people. That was the number of viewers who watched his live video. Brother, I hope this is all worth it. All right, anyway, we're going to stop piling on Ja Morant right now because a lot of people are. But what's my message to everyone about out there? We talked about who do you want to be, and don't be yourself. You can be the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
Don't say 100% of the things that are on your mind. Don't say 100% of the comments you want to make. Don't do 100% of the actions you want to do. Don't follow through with 100% of the decisions you want to make, because there are ramifications of your poor decisions. Nobody speaks to more than that than Mike Tyson today.
Yeah.
Okay, we talked about this off camera. He's like, man, somebody needs to be in this person's ear, encouraging him to do the right thing. Mike Tyson in jail. Michael Frances been in prison, state penitentiary, in the pen. They know about a few bad decisions. Could Ja Morant be the next person? So, message out there for you guys. A lot of times we talk about, which I think is, to use a basketball analogy, offense, making money, building your net worth, building your network, finding your expertise, building your status, carving your path. That's the offensive side of the equation. But there's also defense. What is defense? Not making stupid decisions, okay? Understanding that there are ramifications and repercussions for your poor decisions. Understanding that one stupid move could put you out of a job, out of a career, out of a $200 million contract. All right, so for every Ja Morant out there, there's people out there being like, yeah, I almost said some shit to my boss the other day. I almost said some shit to a coworker the other day. That might be a fireable offense, my friends. So listen, these are case examples of stupidity for you to learn from.
Yeah.
Okay, because we all have those moments where it's like, I'm going to storm into the boss's office and I'm going to let him know what's up. Maybe you pump the brakes a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm going to go on IG Live. I'm going to let these people know how I really feel. Maybe you lose internet connection for a second, homie. Maybe you pump the brakes on that. I'm going to make a comment on somebody's YouTube page. Next thing you know, the feds are walking in your door. Like, you are one stupid decision away from a lifetime of pain. I'll give you one quick story, and this story resonates me to the fullest effect. We're talking about Ja Morant making stupid decisions, jeopardizing $200 million. How does this affect you? I'll never forget this story. Freshman year, I'm at Florida State. I was just there the other day. Boom, this dude shows up. He's like, what's up, bro? He's a friend of a friend. He goes, it's time to get drunk, get fucked up, get some fights. I'm like, all right, buddy. All right, do you, homie. Some girl goes, some fucking asshole just called me a bitch. And he's like, who? What? Keep in mind, this guy doesn't know any of these people. He goes, I'm going to go show that guy what's up. He had liquid courage. He had beer muscles. He had beer goggles. I don't know what he was dealing with. He goes, show me where he's at. She's like, he's over there. This dude just runs in a guy's dorm room. This is a freshman. And is like, yo, what's up, bro? You got a problem? Strolls into this guy's room. The guy grabs a beer bottle. He's like, dude, He's like, felt attacked, smashed it on this guy's face. This guy was lacerated, 70 stitches down his face. Why? Why did he do this? To feel cool, to feel tough, to impress some friends that he didn't even know? And this guy is now walking around with a scar 20 years later, all across his face because he wanted to look cool. Again, you're one stupid ass decision away from ruining your life.
Yep.
Now, what does this mean for real life? This could be a DUI, okay? This could be cheating in business. This could be doing a scam. This could be taking a shortcut, taking the easy way out. This is be cheating on a significant other. There's so many things that we can go here now. Yeah. So again, when people are like, well, I'm not Ja Morant, I don't have $2 million, but you have a car, you could be driving it with a DUI.
Yeah.
You have a girlfriend, hopefully you don't cheat on her. Yep. You have a wife, all right? Like there's so many stupid decisions that you can make. And I've seen this, I can go down the line here of stupid decisions that I've seen average people do. And we're just highlighting what Ja Morant did to basically beat down the fact and drive through anybody can be canceled, taken off, lose their life, lose their career in no time. Don't be the next Ja Morant.
Yeah, don't do that.
Oh.
It gives off very entitled behavior. You know, it's like you see somebody like this getting this amount of money. You know how many people would die for that opportunity? You know how many children are in terrible places where they would want to have a scholarship and have that life? And, you know, this person is taking advantage of the opportunity. And it's such a shame because it's very selfish for you to take down not only yourself, but you're taking down everything with you. So definitely a big red flag. Just be mindful. Don't let the money get to your head because you don't want to end up like this.
I'll make one last point. Guys, as you find success in your career, whether that's in the business world, whether that's in the media world, whether that's in the political world, whatever your aspirations are, whatever you're doing, as you find more success, more people are going to be targeting you. You're going to have a target on your back. More haters are going to show up. More critics are going to show up. More people basically saying, oh, I don't like this person, making negative comments. More stories are going to leak. You have no control over that.
Right.
What you do have control over is your actions. The problem that I have with this is these are all what is known as self-inflicted wounds. You didn't need to do any of this. And even if you are doing it, why are you going on IG Live to promote your stupidity with 111 people watching? It's like, are those 111 people paying your contract? Are they paying your bills? Are they putting food on your table? Because if they're not, ugh.
And it's the second time. It's not even like, oh, I made a mistake. It's the second time of the same thing you're getting in trouble for. Nobody else has this luxury. Yeah.
But if I'm the Memphis Grizzlies, a multi-billion-dollar corporation,
save that
right,
money.
in the NBA, I am keeping security detail on this man 24/7. And if he's like, oh, I don't need security, it's like,
yes,
you do, homie. Because your decision-making is lackluster and poor at best.
Yep.
Okay?
Yikes.
Grow up, Ja.
Grow up,
Okay?
please.
Be an example for the people in your community, okay? Whoever that is, and set the example, set the tone for people to aspire, be like you. Don't basically live to the lowest common denominator like you're some thug rat-tat-tatting out there, okay, on Instagram Live for 111 people. Grow up, save that money, and build your legacy. Build generational wealth, okay? Because this could all be taken in an instant. So if you like that clip, click right here to watch another, or if you want to watch the entire Soscast, click right here.